Welcome back. Today we're going to talk about 10 items that I've bought from Amazon that I use in my garden. It's kind of a big week for Amazon, so I thought I'd just maybe give people some ideas of the things that I have purchased and that I currently use in my garden. So let's get started. So none of these products that I'm using today are sponsored. They're just ones that I use and I think they've worked really well, but I will have links for them in the description. The first one is this garden net holder. I really like these. I found these online, and basically you put them into the ground and they have a little screw on top, and you put your net right where you want it, like this, and then it has this little ball and you screw it on the top just like that. So I have them, it's kind of messed up right now, over my strawberries, and I have 6 of them, and it keeps them up a little bit higher so they're not on the strawberries. And I bought 2 sets, and my other set I doubled the height, so I have them really tall over my blueberries, and so it's kept my blueberries completely safe from birds this year. My blueberries are just taking off and they're not getting eaten at all by these great little net holders that I have found. And so these I just am such a big fan of. So if you're trying to find a way to get nets that are up high and not touching your plants, these are great. Stick them in the ground, screw it on. All right, let's move to number 2. Number 2 on my list is multiple sizes of grow bags. I love grow bags because I have a small yard and I can just plant things and move them around as I need them. But I have 3 different sizes. I have a tall, skinny bag right here. These have sweet potatoes in them. I have yet to pull these sweet potatoes. They've still got a little bit of time. Right here was kind of a smaller bag. It's a little, not as deep, and I had Yukon Gold potatoes in here. I posted a video of me pulling these the other week. And this year I added these new giant grow bags, and these have peanuts in them. So I'm really excited to see what this does. I have never grown peanuts before, but I had to buy bigger bags because peanuts like to grow and then fall over back into the ground, and that's where the legume will grow. So I'm really excited about that. But I have found that different sizes of grow bags work and have helped me figure out which ones I like the best. I really like these big grow bags, but they're really heavy and they take a lot of dirt to fill them up. So I find this middle one to be a nice size. These tall ones are okay, but I don't think my potatoes are actually growing all the way into the bottom of them. And so I like having this middle size. I think is a good size for most things that we're gonna grow, especially potatoes. And the little door that you can see that opens, I don't think it really matters because I've never really opened it, and see, I'm not really gonna see anything right there. So I don't think that's really worth it. Number 3 on my list is the hummingbird feeder. I really like this hummingbird feeder. It has got me a lot of hummingbirds, but probably more has to do with the nectar that I put in. And I also get my nectar from Amazon just because it's easy and they deliver it to me pretty much the next day, and the price is the same as anywhere else. This hummingbird feeder is pretty cool. As you can see, it's about the size of my hand. Sometimes it's hard to know how big they are. I did learn that this right here is for water. It stops ants from climbing up and getting into the hummingbird feeder because they'll get caught in the water right there. It's basically a little moat. Twine is just another easy thing that when you make an Amazon order, you can throw on. And so this is just pretty cheap. This is a natural twine that I have, and I just use it in my garden. And this is what all my tomatoes are being held up by. I use it for a few other things like arts and crafts, but mostly I'm just using it out here. And I've had it out here since about March, and it's still holding on. So it's doing really well. So twine is just an easy thing you can throw on your Amazon order sometime. This is a soil meter, and it tells you how moist the dirt is, the pH, and the light. You know, so you've kind of really got to let it sit in there for a while, but I put it in. I usually just use it for the moisture part, and you know, I can tell if there's getting light on that area of the plant, so that's kind of pointless in my opinion. But you know, it helps me know how moist the ground is down there and gives me an idea for the pH. You know, it's not exactly perfect, but it kind of helps me know if I'm way off, like if I'm going to plant something that needs more of a specific pH, kind of like my blueberries. So I just kind of leave it at the bottom where my blueberries are. Just kind of gives me an idea, but it's kind of cool. You know, just another little gadget that you can throw in, and this wasn't very expensive at all. And so it's just kind of fun to have. The number 6 thing that's easy to buy online is these tomato clips. And I really like these tomato clips. I have the twine that I talked about, right here that goes from the top all the way to the bottom. And these tomato clips are a cheap way to just hold the tomatoes from going up and down. It has been absolutely hot this week, so some of mine are doing a little rough right now. We've hit 100 degrees. But if you're just trying to find a way for the tomatoes to vine up and something to hold them, these work really well, so I highly recommend these. These are some solar lights I bought about 5 years ago, and I just really like lights, hence I have a lot of Christmas lights. But these are just hanging in my backyard, and I have them on poles, and I haven't done anything to them. They still have the original batteries in them, but they light up every night, and we're going 5 years now. You know, so it's hard to find something that actually lasts that long. And for me personally, these have worked. I wanted some lights just in my backyard, and they have that candle look. You know, if you look closely, the candle looks fake, but when you're far enough away, it kind of has that flicker of light, and it's about an orange color, so it looks pretty cool. But yeah, these are just pretty cool to have in my backyard. I kind of have them around my garden. I just like the way they look. If you're looking for some lantern lights, I don't know anything about this brand, but I'll put a link to the ones I bought if they're still on Amazon. And I think they're pretty cool to try out. I know it's the middle of summer right now, so we're not thinking about winter or the fall, but these are the plant covers that I use in the winter here when it gets cold. And these can give me, you know, sometimes almost another month of growing. And what they are they're big bags, just like this, and then the end is open and it has a string and a little ball that will tighten over the bottom. My blueberries start to bloom pretty early in the spring, so I'll cover these up when you have like a late frost, or in the fall when you have an early frost, you can put them over tomatoes, and they're so big that they're easy to put over plants. You know, even if you have trees that you want to cover up, get a few more weeks out of, if you're just going to have a nice cold evening or morning and you know probably it's not your real first frost. And so I use these. These worked really well. They're, you know, fairly thick, but they breathe a little bit, but they're just simpler than a bed sheet because they don't seem to blow away. When I put a bed sheet on for a frost, by the time the morning comes, my sheet is all over the place, but this I can put over the plant and put the plant inside of it, and so it works really well. And to finish up this video, number 10 is diatomaceous earth and fertilizer. I like to buy these online because it's a little bit hard to find them in stores, and the price is about the same, and sometimes you can find deals. And so the diatomaceous earth can be a little bit hard to find, maybe at grocery stores sometimes, but I have a little bit trouble finding the food grade, and I can buy pretty big bags online. I have not used this brand before. This is a new one that I'm gonna try, but I like to put diatomaceous earth on my grape leaves and my muscadine leaves because the Japanese beetles have just taken over and they eat all the leaves. Hopefully I'm late enough in the season now that it won't hurt any ladybugs or anything else. One of the things with diatomaceous earth is if you put it on the plant, it kind of just kills anything that has an exoskeleton that will be on the leaves. So hopefully it's just the Japanese beetles and I can get rid of them. But in the past, this has really worked. So thanks for watching my video and have a great day.